Hello, investors. It's Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, short-term pullback. Take a look at trend gauge here. Leaders under neutral, still volatile to say the least. Short term, the Qs in small cap struggling with that 21 EMA. Best markets always occur when tech specifically is trending above a rising 21 EMA. The general market is so important. Medium term, S&P above the 50-day Q struggling there as well. And then long term, we remain above the 200-day moving average. What happened today? You know, what we've been seeing, choppy summer trading continues is really the bottom line. Quick and fast rotation, leaders changing daily, and just the type of market we're in, and fund numbers are kind of all over the place. 21 list was down a little over 2%, 16 green, 5 red. Turbo 12 down 3.52%, 1 green, 11 red. And when we were making the list over the weekend and finalizing it on Monday, right? A lot of the software names were the ones showing RS above the 21. And so that's why Atlas is getting hit today. Software took a beating today. Mag 7 down about 1%, RG8 down 70 basis points, Revere AI 100 down about 0.5%, S&P and Equate about flat in the day, Q's down 0.5%, Equate down 65 basis points. Dow mid caps flat, Russell down about 1%, 60/40 stock and bond flat, GROTECTION down 23 basis points, and TurboTection down 59 basis points. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation, and I'll keep this here. And S&P extremely tight. Looks like it is gearing for a move here soon. Super, super tight candle, 821.50, right at that 7,500 level. So it looks like potentially it's going to be decision time here soon. And pretty simple, right? If we lose this support trend line and the moving average to the downside, that would be a bearish sign. If we can break out through this pivot here, that would be bullish. But again, follow through there hasn't been really any follow through to say the least. So granted, or on the flip side, right? Undercut and reclaim of this would be bullish. So like a fake breakdown, reclaim, and what would be bearish is tries to break out and then comes back in. So just a couple scenarios that to think about. But objectively looking at this chart, it looks like it wants to go higher, and we shall see. RSP just tight day at the 21. This one's kind of just been chugging along. Q's more of a bearish look here, but again, just a range. Like there's not, this is the low end of the range and really the upper end of the range here. So, you know, just, trading around here, moving averages aren't as important in a range, right? Like they're flat, they're not uptrending like back here. So price kind of will just ping pong around them, doesn't respect it as it would in a clear uptrend here, like after the April lows. So just in a big range for now. Mags pulling back a little bit after some nice outperformance and relative strength, pulling back to the 21. Dow tight day here at the 21, setting up potential flag breakout. Mid cap, same thing here, just kind of riding higher. Holding the 50-day for now. Russell, bit of a reversal day, but inside day here below that 3,000 level. Arc, nothing really to say besides big range, well, relative weakness. VIX still below 18. That's a good sign. The dollar continues to look bullish. Got a nice flag here. Just been talking about it. Broke out of this big stage one base. Looks like it's going to continue higher as long as it stays above 100. Gold, trying to bounce a little bit, but in a downtrend. Same with gold stocks. Same with silver. Bitcoin rejecting the 50-day for now, but still continue to build out the stage one bottoming base. Bonds look like they might be breaking lower, and that is why yields were up today as well. So again, a couple, those are a few negatives, right? We have strong dollar, we have yields ticking higher. And so, it's putting some pressure, that's been putting some pressure on equities as well. And you can see this here, right? This is a really nice base that it's looking to break out of. You can draw this kind of level here, coming out of the big base. So if this continues higher, that would essentially be negative, small caps. You can see regional banks have been pulling back a little bit. XBI, take a look at home builders, right? All these different sectors, areas of the market that when yields start to move higher, they're typically negatively affected, and vice versa. When yields move lower, these ones tend to outperform. All right, let's get into the tale of the tape. Let's see what was notable today. We'll cover some of the earnings. We had Tesla, Google, Texas Instruments, ServiceNow, IBM reported today after the bell, and some notable ones Thursday, tomorrow after the close. We have Intel and MXL, so I want to keep an eye out for. Um, Keys wise, S&P still below all-time high, but holding above the moving averages. Q is above 700, falling at the 21. Russell falling at 3,000, and the 21 EMA. Going to be watching the same stuff heading into tomorrow. Day count after, nice update yesterday, kind of consolidation day today. 2 days back above the 8, 2 days back above the 21 EMA. And the action today, again, the choppy summer range action. It was a 40-point range on the S&P 500 and just kind of going back and forth, really. Sectors wise, gold stocks getting a bounce, copper miners, nice. Copper futures, um, forward slash HG is the symbol, look really good. So copper miners, something to watch out for. Chat, AI ETF, and semiconductors weakness, rare earth. Airlines and software got smoked today. IGV, cloud, sky, all those across the board got hit. And that's what I'm talking about the rotation is it's quick and it's fast. Trades wise, GROTECTION bought HPE and Dell and then sold Fortinet and Datadog. So what happened with SMCI, they reported encouraging margin guidance and record backlog, and that was up about 20% today. So that boosted Dell and HPE, the server names. 1.01 beta, estimated balance of risk stocks, 35 basis points, total 4.18%. TurboTaxation sold Twilio FTNT, 1.14 beta, estimated balance at risk for stocks, 88 basis points, total 3.82%. Bottom line, summer chop continues. S&P coiled, AI names bounce, plus software weak. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at the earnings. Google currently flat, so not a blow up, not a monster gap up. We'll see what this wants to do. They did have a really good beat though. Let's see, we have Google, Tesla, right? No one's really buying this for the earnings. This one's down to, let's remove these drawings. This one's down just under 3%. Again, just in a big range. Really won't wait for this. This one really needs a catalyst. Texas Instruments down 3%. So again, pretty muted, lackluster reaction so far. ServiceNow 5%. So this could bring a boost to software. IBM up 2% after getting crushed. So pretty uneventful so far. This could change once they get on the earnings call and whatnot. So let's look at some of the action today. Semiconductors look overall constructive. This was a big level here. Reclaimed it, trying to remount the moving averages. Looks overall good, right? Big move up, 100% plus move off the April low and now building a base. That's normal. But the thing with bases is they can take a lot longer than you expect. And being too early can get you chopped up. So, but all in all, this looks constructive. Just looks like it's building a new base, needs more time. So just monitor this. Very important for the market. DRAM memory ETF, another one. I like how this, trying to reclaim this level right here, 60 area. SanDisk as well, holding for now. Back above, 1600. That's a good sign. Micron, the other one, right? SanDisk, Micron, probably two of the most important stocks in the market. Just really the two leaders. And you can see Micron held that spot there. And remounting all the moving averages and at 966 after hours. So that's a good sign. See how this continues to react. GE Vernova got hit on earnings down 9%, and they had great earnings, weak response. And again, that's something to watch out for stocks that have made big moves. You know, you really want to pay attention when the stock can no longer go up on good news. If stock goes down on bad news, that's fine. You watch to see if it can get, bid back up. But failing to go higher on good news and moving lower is typically the most bearish signal. And essentially that is a news failure. So GV, see if this can reclaim 1,000 tomorrow, but this one also has just been a very choppy stock for quite some time. Let's see. Take a look at Dell. Dell, one of the best looking charts out there right now. Beautiful base, reclaim that high volume close from earnings. That one looks good. GROTECTION bought that today, along with HPE. Turning up out of this base. 50 is pretty big spot. AMD, one of the leading semiconductor names at the highs, looking fantastic. This one almost kind of looks like an ascending base-esque to me. But again, just noticing the relative strength, the names that are at or near highs when the indexes is rather weak. Same with the semiconductor index. Nvidia, also really nice day today. Again, very tough one to trade. Has been very choppy for a while, but 212 is big spot. So see if this one can get some legs. Never a bad sign if Nvidia is moving higher. Let's see what else. NBIS, right, in the Neo Cloud. Bounced off that 165 level, but 4 days up in a row into a flat 50-day moving average. So this is when it gets interesting for names. If you bought it at 165, that's great. You're at a nice profit, and you can sell some and move your stop to break even. But 4 days up in a row, not a good risk reward long here. You could say it's even a short, but given how choppy the market is, probably no trade's the best trade here. So really, ideally for a bull, you'd want to see this, maybe pull back on light volume, build a higher low, and then just really some tightness so you can manage risk and see if this one can move higher. But really nice bounce, and the pendulum swings so fast in this market. Last week on Friday podcast, I was talking about all these names, the momentum unwinds. We showed some charts about how severe. I mean, we're talking some of the fastest and most and biggest momentum unwinds ever. And then yesterday was, excuse me. And then yesterday was one of the biggest days for the momentum factor in the past 5 years. And that is a testament to how volatile this market is. Meme is a proxy for that, right? This has had a strong 4 day move. So with a lot of these names up 4 days in a row, ideally these, maybe backfill, pull back 50% of the move, put a higher low, because, V-shaped recoveries are the hardest to trade, and they typically cause the most frustration. And what got hit today? Software. And this is a good picture of what I'm talking about, is how quick and fast the rotation is. One day, semiconductors are breaking down, software's the best trade in the market, and then, they kind of flop. Semiconductors up, software down, semiconductors down, software up. So IGV, kind of an ugly candle today. Cloud computing, same thing there. CLOU is another one. CIBR. This one's a little better. Cybersecurity's been better. Crowd, pretty normal pullback. This, setting up a buy here. Crowd, PAW, same thing, but versus right, like Snow, also one of the leaders. Hammer off the 21, but Twilio, which we sold in Turbo, nasty day today. Sold this one for about break even. Datadog as well. We still own this, but still holding this upper trend and the 50-day moving average. So again, doesn't looks still looks good as long as it doesn't lose that 50-day, but would like to see some relative strength get back into this name. And what other software names got hit today? BAND. Let's move these. Sorry. BAND down 10%. You had RBRK is another cybersecurity name, but it was looking really good. Pretty harsh pullback, 86.73. Palantir obviously is a laggard. This one got hit today down, 6%. So Microsoft, another one top weighting in IGV. Rejecting the 50-day for now. See if this can, firm back up, but you kind of get the gist of that. And that is really, summarize the market. That's how it's been. And some other sectors that were showing strength, regional banks sitting at 21. XBIs, this a bear flaggers is forming just a new range. So we're just going to have to wait and see how the market digest these earnings into tomorrow. They're pretty flat for now, but we shall see if that changes. So, yep, really bottom line is it's it's tough market, being patient, waiting for the conditions to get better. So that is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com. And you can always reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. Thank you guys for watching and have a great night.